Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol.
We're back! Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my fiance, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is January 9th, 1999.
It is that.
1999.
Already.
What are we going to do on September 9th? 9999.
I don't know.
99.
Love balloons? No, I don't know.
Oh, 99 Luftballons.
Oh, is it really 99?
Ihrem Weg zum Horizont.
I got
Kannst
it
du
right.
vielleicht gerade nicht. Singe ich ein Lied für dich.
So that's a preview of what we'll do for you on September 9th.
There you go. I'll sing 99 Luftballons in German.
One of his many talents.
Wie geht's? We have a strong German contingent, I hear. A bunch of people in Germany that love these tapes or whatever. So.
Interesting.
Wie geht's?
What's up, Germany?
But speaking of Germany, John Travolta is from Italy, which is a country near Germany. I think he's actually from the United States, but his ancestry is from Italy.
Are you even sure about that?
I don't know. Well, Travolta's an Italian name. He looks Italian.
I mean, he might be a little Italian. I don't know.
Hey, the hair. Watch the hair now. Up your nose with a rubber hose. You know how he talks. He's in that new movie, A Civil Action.
Okay.
I haven't heard great things. I've heard great things about him in the movie, but I haven't heard great things about the movie in general, although the movie, I guess, is doing well. It says, though, I found this interesting. So I don't have a lot of stories because we were just so excited to talk to you all after our break. But both stories that I have to do with new upcoming films. So, upcoming maybe this year, maybe next year, I'm not sure. But it says next on his agenda, L. Ron Hubbard. I don't know if you guys are familiar with L. Ron Hubbard, science fiction author of the 1960s, I believe, friends with Robert Heinlein.
Okay.
Created a religion called Scientology.
That's why his name sounds familiar.
Supposedly on a bet, I guess. Wrote a book called Dianetics that they used to advertise on the late night TV shows. Anyway, so Travolta is part of the Scientology religion.
That's nuts. So, if it's known that this religion is based on a fucking sci-fi author's book, then why do people follow it? I don't understand
Well,
that.
he says it's nonfiction, I guess. I don't know. The Dianetics is supposed to be all about moving past your past traumas and stuff like that, or something like that. I don't know. Even when I was younger and I would watch these infomercials of someone's had a tragedy in their past and it haunts the rest of their lives. What they need to do is forget about it and move on. And it's what you need to do is bury it. Even as a kid, I was like, yeah, that's not the healthy way to respond to that. But, no, I think it's weird because, don't sue us, Scientology, but, they're very litigious. But, supposedly, some of the tenets of their religion have to do with, they think that this alien warlord named Xenu, put down a rebellion on his planet and then flew all the rebels to the United States and put them in active volcanoes not the United States, Earth.
I was going to say.
Put them in active volcanoes on Earth and detonated nuclear weapons. And now their ghosts, called Thetans, infiltrate our body, and that's where all negative thoughts and stuff like that come from.
Can you imagine if that was your life?
That I believed that.
Wow.
Well, that's John Travolta for you. John Travolta had expected to keep his string running by going directly from A Civil Action to Shipping News, another well-regarded literary adaptation in which he was to co-star with his wife, Kelly Preston, but the director, Fred Shalepsy, and the studio had a different vision, he says, So that film has been postponed until next year. For Travolta, though, that's not a setback, but an opportunity. Quote, he now has time to get his long-planned adaptation of one of his favorite novels, L. Ron Hubbard's Battlefield Earth, off the ground. And then, this is a quote from Travolta. Hey, Mr. Carter, have you read it? Oh, you must, says Travolta. Even if you don't like sci-fi, you'll love it. That's kind of Christopher Walken.
Yeah, I was going to say. It did sound like Christopher Walken.
It's one of the greatest books ever written. I'm Chris Walken talking for Mr. Travolta.
Yeah, but John Travolta does not have that much of a weird voice, really.
So wicked, so fun. It's so reminiscent of the criminals and the decent people on this planet that you can't help but see it as a parallel for our own society. Hubbard, of course, is the late founder of Scientology, the religion discipline subscribed to by Travolta, his wife, and numerous other powerful people in Hollywood, including Thomas Cruise.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about that is Tom Cruise and Kelly Preston were in Jerry Maguire together.
That's true. And
Is that how they got him?
No, he's been in it for a while. Apparently, what got him was when he was dating. I cannot remember her name, but she was a decent amount older than her. It's not. I was gonna say Angie Dickinson, but it's not Angie Dickinson. But somebody. He was dating someone that was in it, I guess, and he was recruited by the. I don't want to speculate. Because I don't want to get sued by Scientology. Travolta says that his enthusiasm for making a film of Hubbard's allegorical adventure is completely separate from his thorough commitment to Scientology, but that he is happy to be seen as an example of the difference this technology and philosophy can make in one's life. You know, every new religion in history has been looked on with suspicion and fear at first, says Travolta, referring to charges that Scientology is a cult that engages in brainwashing. Christianity had a few problems in its first 50 years, too. You might remember. No one does. We weren't around.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, you look back and ask yourself, did I believe in everything I did today? Did I make my decisions for the right reasons? If I can answer those questions honestly, you deserve a good night's sleep, don't you? Okay, I guess. I mean, it's a little different, I guess. I mean, I know some people look at Christianity and they're like, oh, that's ridiculous, a virgin bride and a virgin mother and all that stuff. But, I don't know. It's a little different when a science fiction author writes a religion that reads like a science fiction book. And, they know his name. Xenu. How? How
Because
does he
the
know?
Thetans told them.
How does he know his name? I guess that's true. Xenu did this to us. Anyway, good luck with your probably not a cult, I guess, Mr. Travolta. Anyway. But that movie's sure to be good, right?
Sure.
So, due this year, The Mod Squad, Beowulf, and Yikes, Carrie 2. Stephen King's long-awaited sequel to Carrie, which he didn't write.
Are you serious? There's a Carrie too.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They're making a Carrie 2.
Why mess with it?
Carrie 2, more bloodening. I don't know.
Didn't Stephen King have to give an approval for that?
I would assume so, yeah.
Shame on him.
He's taking the approach that John Carpenter takes whenever somebody remakes one of his movies, where he's like, anytime somebody decides to remake one of my movies or whatever, I just put my hand out and the check appears. Drew Barrymore plays a would-be reporter who goes undercover as a high school student in Never Been Kissed, which is coming out in March, only to discover that she's just as unpopular as ever.
That would suck.
And Robert De Niro is a mobster who turns to analyst Billy Crystal for help in controlling his aggressiveness in Analyze This, also coming in March. Returning to the land of actually imaginable being... Returning to the land of the actually imaginable brings us to The Other Sister, okay, in which a retarded Juliette Lewis tries to strike out on her own, much to the distress of her mother, Diane Keaton. The 2 Hour Woman, also rooted in the conceivable. Are we saying that Never Been Kissed? Are we saying that this Drew Barrymore going undercover as a high school student and Robert De Niro being a mobster who needs therapy are not believable concepts? Is that what we're saying?
I don't know. I don't know what they're saying.
Anyway, Karen Duffy, Patti LuPone, Rosie Perez, and Marianne Jean-Baptiste coping with the stress of career pressure, family issues, and sex while maintaining femininity and sanity. Flu season kicks into gear with the release of Virus.
Nice.
There's Supernova, Killing Mrs. Tingle.
What the fuck?
Scream King Kevin Williamson gets to move the camera as well as the pen for Killing Mrs. Tingle, February 26th, in which a disagreeable high school teacher, Helen Mirren, discovers what happened to people who used their authority unfairly. Okay. Something called The 13th Floor, a adaptation of Beowulf. The King and I. Interesting. The Inheritors. Any of these sound good to you?
Well, The Never Been Kissed sounds kind of good because I like Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll probably see that, I guess. I guess this probably should have been should have been off air. How this should be. We're really just doing episode planning here.
Right. Sitting in on our planning session here, guys.
Who doesn't feel just a little tug toward the Mod Squad? I don't know, people who aren't 50? An update of the late 60s television show about cool kids catching criminals. Claire Danes, Giovanni Ribisi of Saving Private Ryan, and Omar Epps are the undercover cops until we get an eyeful of luscious digital icon Laura Croft. Later in the year, in the movie version of the computer game Tomb Raider, we'll just have to make do with Wing Commander. I like Wing Commander as a game. Chris Roberts is Wing Commander.
See, Mod Squad, well, it doesn't appeal to me because of Mod Squad. The cast sounds good.
Claire Danes. I love
Claire Danes.
I almost said Clarissa Explains It All, but it was My So-Called Life.
Yes.
But yeah, Tomb Raider. Who are they going to get to play Tomb Raider? To play Lara Croft?
I hate it when they make video games into movies. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Although, like I said, Wing Commander will probably be terrible, but I do like those games. Then we have Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves. This fucking dude is done in Hollywood.
Why?
Because he's had a string of terrible movies. The last movie we reviewed of his was that my girlfriend's in an orchard and it's all on fire or whatever.
I liked that movie.
It sucked.
It did not.
The movie was okay, but he sucked.
A Walk in the Clouds.
He's a bad actor.
He's not a bad actor.
He is a bad actor. And I mean, people are like, I think I saw a preview for this movie that he's in coming up, which looks awful to me. Keanu Reeves hasn't given up on cyberspace despite the crash of Johnny Mnemonic. He's logged back on with The Matrix, April 26th, whatever that is. What?
I just don't know why you're all out for Keanu Reeves.
How do you pronounce that? Matrix? The Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix. That makes more sense.
Anyway,
because it's an A and not an E.
Which has him convinced he's wired into a digital matrix. Okay, great. Sounds awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah, okay. Then there's some 20 other films are due to come out
wow.
between now and May, but they have yet to be dated for release. One of them is Carrie 2. So email the governor now. There may still be hope for a reprieve. Oh my God. That is hilarious. But anyway, so those are some of the movies coming up. I think we should see The Matrix just out of comedy, so we can make fun of it.
Yeah, sure. Those are the best movies to see.
Oh my God.
But I bet it'll be good.
You know what movie I'm not going to make fun of though, Carol?
The Faculty?
Yes, the movie we saw this week. The Faculty.
I'm so proud I remembered the name of the movie we saw, because for like the first 5 or 10 minutes sitting here, I couldn't remember what movie we saw.
That's hilarious. Well, you may remember when we saw it the first time, when it was called Disturbing Behavior. It's similar-ish to Disturbing Behavior, I guess, but it's different. Disturbing Behavior was more like, they're both sort of like Pod People movies. Mm-hmm. So that's their similarities. The Disturbing Behavior is fucking not a good movie. And although there's 2 Dawson Creek connections here.
Yeah.
So Catherine Holmes was in
Disturbing
Behavior.
And she was excellent. She was the only good thing in the movie.
Correct. And then this movie is written by Kevin Williamson.
Oh.
The creator of Dawson's Creek and Scream and all that stuff. Like, I was thinking, we were watching this movie, and I was thinking, I thought of a couple different movies. I thought of Disturbing Behavior because of the high school setting, the Pod People kind of thing, and I thought of The Thing, the aforementioned John Carpenter's The Thing, which I think it has a lot more parallels with The Thing than it does with Disturbing Behavior. But I was watching this movie, and I was like, why is this movie better? And then the credits I didn't really do a ton of research before watching. And then the credits came on, and it was like directed by Robert Rodriguez, written by Kevin Williamson. So directed by the guy that did Desperado, which we liked. Mm-hmm. Well, kind of liked. I mean, it was weird, but it was stylish and cool.
It was good.
And he did that the weird vampire one, Dusk Till Dawn. So he did those 2 movies, and I guess El Mariachi too. And then it was written by Kevin Williamson. So it's like a good screenwriter, a good writer, wrote a good script, and a good director who has a good sense of visual directing combined in a movie, and surprise, surprise, the movie was good.
It was pretty good.
Oh, you didn't like it that much?
No, I liked it, but I wouldn't. It's not like one of my favorite movies. You know, I'm not like super excited about it or anything.
I don't know if I would say it's one of my favorite movies of all time, but I thought it was good. It's a movie that came out at the end of last year, so we're doing our catch up. Doing it at the beginning of this year, but I thought it was very, like, the story made sense.
Yeah.
I think everything about it, it was a compelling plot that just kept moving forward, and visually, I thought it was good. I liked their. I mean, a lot of it, obviously, like cinematography wise, a lot of it takes place outside or in a school. It's all very high key, like flat lighting, almost like an episode of Dawson's Creek, but obviously not that. There's more dynamism to that,
right?
To the shots than that. It's not like flat, like sitcom style. And the lenses they're using and everything different, gives the different depth of field. But it's the moments where they decide to go dark with the lighting, I think are a big highlight. Why are you looking at me like I'm fucking crazy?
I'm not looking at you like you're crazy. What the fuck?
Your eyes are bugging out at me while I'm talking.
What the fuck? I'm tired and I'm trying to.
I'm gonna look at you like this while you're talking and see how you react to it.
I'm trying to stay like engaged and stuff and be like actively listening with my face.
Wow. Get a better active listening face. Holy shit. Your active listening face is I'm dying of asphyxiation.
Holy shit, you're so mean.
Anyway, so I thought the script was very good. The direction was very good. There's some interesting camera moves where they'll, like, I think you even kind of reacted to one in the theater where they sort of like kind of quick like zoom, yes, like rack in and everything. I think that's just part of Robert Rodriguez's visual style. And I thought the acting was good. There's I suppose the 2 stars of this would be, well, there's Jordana Brewster, Josh Hartnett, who was in Halloween, Add Some Water, Halloween H2O, and Elijah Wood. I think he was in. He's a kid actor.
Yeah.
I guess now he's a teen actor. But he was in The Good Son.
Yes, with Macaulay Culkin.
With Macaulay Culkin. Who I guess decided to just fuck off.
Apparently, yeah. He hasn't not been around.
He made his money and then he was like, I'm out. He did like 5 movies, made billions of dollars, and he's like, I'm done. Peace out,
Good
bitches. I think he moved to Paris or something like that.
Wow.
But anyway, so good acting. There were other people in it too, obviously. I don't know all the names of the young actors in it, but a lot of good young actors were in it.
Yeah.
And, I thought the acting was really good. I mean,
And
what do you think?
The teachers, you're just totally missing the teachers. Like,
Robert Patrick from Terminator 2.
and
Femke Jensen.
the hot Latina actress.
Selma Hayek.
Yeah.
Yeah, Selma Hayek was in it for a minute.
She was, in the beginning. Yeah.
She didn't get sexy though. That's one thing is that all the she was mostly just dressed in like a tight, like no cleavage, just very like buttoned up because she's the school nurse, I guess.
Well, yeah, you don't want the school nurse wearing a sexy nurse outfit.
But the thing is that everybody that got turned into an alien, all the teachers, well, pretty much all the teachers that got turned into an alien became like a sexier version of themselves.
That's true.
So why didn't she become a sexier version of himself?
Well, because we never saw her again.
Even Jon Stewart became a sexy version of himself.
What?
He was the science teacher that got a pen stuck in his eye. That early in the movie was like, oh my God, just stick a pen in my eye. And they did and killed him.
Did they all get sexy? Because I feel like it was just the 2 female teachers. I didn't think the dudes got sexy.
I think it was just Bebe Neuwirth and it was just Lilith Crane and Femke Jensen. But
So-
I have a question.
Okay.
Real quick. And then you can say whatever you want to say. Or answer my question first, though. Does Kevin Williamson just want to fuck one of his teachers? Like, what the fuck? Like, when I realized Kevin Williamson wrote this, I was like, there's a big storyline in Dawson's Creek. For those of you that don't watch or listen to our Dawson's Creek tape, listen to our Dawson's Creek tape. There's a big storyline where Joshua Jackson has an affair and fucks his teacher. And now Femke Jensen, sexy teacher, is like making eyes at Josh Hartnett's character at the end of the movie when everything's back to normal again and stuff like that. He's on the football team for some reason,
Which is stupid.
and she's fucking the only one in the stands at the practice, like blowing him kisses and shit.
This is my problem with the movie was the ending. Because it makes no fucking sense. That this teacher all of a sudden is like in love with the student who prior to this, I mean, they had some kind of weird power dynamic issue.
Banter, yeah, they had banter back and forth.
I don't know that was banter. I mean, she seemed like she was just scared of him.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And it was weird because she's the teacher. She's like, I'm supposed to be the authority figure here while she's like looking at her shoes. That was not banter. Like they have some kind of sexual chemistry.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
And I mean, he was trying to make her uncomfortable. But then, like, all of a sudden, like, once she's the alien, like, she's all, like, hot and, like, flirty or whatever. And that stays afterwards.
I guess, yeah.
And he's a drug dealer
Right.
who is repeating his senior year of high school. And after he's, gone through the
Also
alien
known
thing.
as a catch.
Right. He gets on the football team?
Yeah.
Why would that ever happen?
I don't know.
Why did they do that? That makes no sense.
I agree. I think that ending doesn't make sense, but I honestly think it's Kevin Williams' fantasy. I mean, answer the question. Like, does Kevin Williams must have wanted to fuck his teacher, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I didn't make any of these connections, but you're absolutely right.
That's a weird thing to bring up in more than one of your properties.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to find his old yearbooks.
Oh my God, yeah, I want to see which teacher he wanted to have sex with.
Right?
Here's another thing that bothers me a little bit. If we're picking holes at the movie, I guess. I get the thought process that there's a queen, like what's infecting them is a parasite, essentially. They say as much.
Yeah.
Which all stems from one source. It's like, I assume it's like a hive mind kind of thing.
Sure.
Like each person that's taken over is just an extension of the first person. Like they're tendrils of this entity, right? And she comes from a like some water planet or whatever that started to dry up. And so she went to Earth because I guess it's made a lot of water, which makes sense. And instead of like just swimming in the ocean and being a thing there and like taking over the fish, she's like, I'm going to take over all these human beings. And, you know, because their bodies are made of water and whatever. And it's like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, really. But, so the idea is if you kill her, that all the people that are infected don't have to die. Because, I mean, they go pretty far. Like, the entire town's infected real fast. So they like, either all those people die and it's not really that happy of an ending, or they do this. But they're like, okay, so if you kill her, then all the rest of, like, the parasites, because essentially they're just extensions of her, like I said, will also die. And then everybody is freed, right?
Right.
So I guess that makes sense in a science fiction kind of way. But Femke Jensen, going back to her, the teacher, was in a horrific car accident with Josh Hartnett, and her head fell off. And then it crawled back and, like, because it was like fish entity or whatever, and then grafted itself back on. That's just curable?
That is a very good point.
Like, after not having the power of that, like, thing holding her together, she should have died.
Yeah. Maybe, see, my thought is maybe they're still infected.
Well, that's a possibility, and that might be why she still wants to have sex with him, and that might be why he's on the football team now. Mm-hmm. It makes the ending make more sense, except for the fact that Elijah Wood is, like, making out with Jordana Brewster and saying, like, I'm writing stories, and, like, we defeated the aliens.
Yeah, okay, I see what that doesn't fit with the other theory, but that's another thing that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, why did they get together?
There was not a lot of sexual tension there either.
No.
None of this was like a build-up.
Those two don't have a lot of chemistry on screen.
They do not.
There was one scene of banter between the two of them where he's like, you're sexy when you're not being a bitch or whatever. He says, or like, you can be real nice when you're not being a bitch or something like that.
Not even sexy, just nice.
You know how you charm women, right? By saying that when they're not being a bitch, they're nice.
Right.
But anyway, so... Yeah, there was one scene of that, and that's it. And then at the end, they're making out.
Yeah, I just don't like the way they wrapped this up, and it was kind of like the movie The Thing, where they're trying to figure out who's infected, and they had made up this drug to like. Yeah, it's just kind of convenient and bizarre that the drug dealer made a drug out of diuretics and caffeine pills.
Stuff that dehydrates you, essentially.
But, like, he puts them in a empty pen case and sells them and people snort them?
Yeah, snort them out of the pen case.
So you're, like, making homemade pixie sticks of drugs. Like, if that was a thing, why don't they do that with cocaine?
Right.
It just seems kind of dumb. And, like, why the diuretic?
I don't know.
I guess snorting caffeine would probably...
do something.
Yeah. But the diuretic? What the fuck? And then, like, the girl says she's allergic to it. And everybody is just like, oh, whatever, just do it. And then they think she did it and has no reaction.
That's what I was thinking, too. I was like, that got my spidey sense going right there. Because I was like, her whole reason for not wanting to do it is she was allergic to it. I thought she was fucking allergic to it. Like, why is she not reacting to it? And I was like, there's something not right here. But, yeah, because that scene that you're talking about is a direct parallel to a scene in The Thing where they realize that, like, the thing can't bleed or something like that. It's something with the blood. But they all cut them. They all make a tiny cut on their finger, right? And when the last person makes a tiny cut, like the entity like jumps out or whatever, right? Or if it thinks that's what it is, if it thinks it's in danger, that it's going to it reacts to that, right? And so it's this scene is a direct parallel of that, basically, where it's like, hey, you know, these aliens die when they sniff it, so we're all going to sniff this drug, and they all start doing it one by one. and Jordana Brewster and the blonde lady, who she was good in the movie, but I don't know her name.
Yeah, she was good.
They're the last two to do it, and they're like staring, like having a staring contest at each other. First of all, I don't know why they assumed that one of them was. I get thinking like maybe one of us is, but I don't know why they assumed it, because it like the whole scene builds up to like it's got to be one of them, and it's like, but it could be neither of them.
Well, I think it was just because they waited so long.
Yeah, but anyway, so Jordana Brewster does have a thing inside of her, and
she's more than a thing.
yeah, but she starts attacking and everything, and she ends up running away or whatever. They conveniently don't kill her because then she wouldn't come back. Like I assume Jon Stewart's just dead because they stabbed him in the eye, and probably BB Newworth's dead too because they shot her in the head.
Yeah. Like, why would they do that? I thought about that too. Like, that's fucked. Like, you're trying to just find the queen and kill the queen. I guess they thought she was the queen.
Yeah,
though.
and they thought her body was useless or whatever. But anyway, so just like Frasier did. So it turns out later, because we get a flashback when we find out the blonde lady's the queen, that she has this ability to like close off her nostrils, and then she used her little like I don't know fish finger to open up the bottom and have it all spill out. Can they all do that? Like, why didn't Jordana Brewster do that? And if she can only do that because she's the queen, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
But yeah, or maybe she just like to throw suspicion off herself. She did that.
Yeah.
She had Jordana Brewster fail.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Because she was part of her, right?
Yeah. Huh? I hadn't thought of that.
But anyway,
so that's how the vampires usually work too. You kill the head vampire and the rest of the vampires.
Oh, okay.
Die.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of movies, a lot of the lore. So it kept reminding me of that too.
Interesting. Yeah, it is sort of a vampiric type thing too, because it's the same sort of thing where one's infecting a bunch. But yeah, I liked it. I mean, it's not a perfect movie. It's far from a perfect movie. Like we just listed a bunch of problems we have with it.
It was enjoyable to watch for sure.
Yeah, tone. I thought the tone was right throughout the whole thing. Like the tone was good. The acting was good, and I thought, like I said, the plot it's one of those refrigerator moments where it's like while you're in the theater, you're so caught up in it and everything seems cool, and then it's only in hindsight afterwards where we're dissecting. It was like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, I mean, it had a strong narrative thrust throughout the entire thing, and the movie just kept moving along. And I thought it was a nice little like kind of thrill ride thing. This was everything Disturbing Behavior could have been and wasn't.
Yeah, definitely a better movie than Disturbing Behavior. Sad they came out in the same year.
Yeah, but this one is for sure better. I think the movie's doing decently well. Kevin Williamson is, he's fucking doing everything.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And apparently he's doing Killing Mrs. Tingle or whatever the fuck it was called.
Oh, okay.
I just read about it.
Well, then we'll have to watch that.
I guess.
It'll probably be good then.
But anyway, that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can go to see Mrs. Tingle.
So you can write us at latefee1994@AOL.com.
Yes.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com and share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.